Don't you hate it when your favorite YouTuber just stops filming for a while with no explanation? Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry. I know, I'm bad. This is probably going to be awkward because it's been over a month since I filmed, so again, my bad. I'm sorry. Just a quick update. For the past month or so, I've been working at retail. I just kind of got swept up into working so much that I wasn't finding enough free time to really be creative. I was also feeling in a down place shortly after we got back home and missing traveling and being on the road, and it just kind of made me not want to create, not feel creative. I am sorry. I am going to try and work on it and get videos out regularly again. So with me not being the most creative, not feeling the greatest, and I know a lot of people actually get the blues around this time of year, it kind of awkwardly leads into my discussion for today, which is the dark side of van life. And that probably sounds more morbid than I want it to be, but this is not about, oh, van life is so hard, you have to find water to refill, and you know, if you don't have sun for enough days, then your battery pack goes out. And like, those are definitely issues of van life, but that's not what I'm actually talking about today. So a friend of mine shared an article with me, and if I can find it, I will put it in the link below. And it basically talked about how there's a rise in vehicle homelessness, is basically what they were calling it. People that can't afford to live in housing for various reasons and are living in vehicles. These people are often just doing it for a short time until they can get back on their feet. And they are not the people that you see on Instagram that are choosing to live in a van or choosing to live in some kind of vehicle. Oftentimes these people are living in their minivan, their SUV, their compact car. This is not a choice or a lifestyle. This is a means of survival. It really opened up my eyes that there's kind of two sides to van life, that one side's not being shared enough. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, van life's actually a lot harder. You know, they're just showing the glamorous side. And yes, that's true. A lot of people do only share the glamorous side. But I don't see anybody in this medium talking about people being forced to live in a vehicle. And it's something I can definitely empathize with. If I wanted to live in an apartment right now, I honestly wouldn't be able to afford it. And I would have to live in the van, even if it wasn't a choice. And so I can definitely understand the struggles behind that. Honestly, I think this is something that's probably going to continue for a while. In the article, they talk about how some people either A, can't get to a homeless shelter because they're so full, or B, don't want to be in one because of the stigma behind it. They find themselves trying to find parking in other ways and just make it through in their vehicle. Oftentimes these are families, sometimes these are senior citizens, but one of the things that I found really interesting, and it's something that I do see shared a lot in van life communities on Facebook groups and Reddits and things like that, is the increase of governments banning people from parking in certain places. Places like Canada and California were increasingly coming up with restrictions through the government on where you can park, how long you can park, and different things like that. Some of them were like city-wide ordinances. And at the same time, the article also highlighted that places of worship were opening their parking lots to allow people to park at night, so that people had a safe place to park. They talked about one church in Washington state that opens up in the morning so that families can actually go inside and get their kids ready for school, even letting them sleep inside the church if it gets below a certain temperature so that people aren't trying to sleep in their cars when it's really cold out. I know for me right now, because of money, we're not going to be able to travel. We're going to have to be staying in Charlotte for a while, for the next foreseeable future, until we're able to get up on our feet and get some money saved so that we can travel, or we can find work that will allow us to go remotely. I do feel like this issue is going to continue to be something that governments are going to have to look at as far as safe parking for people, for a couple of different reasons. I think more people are going to be choosing van life because they can work remotely. There's a lot more work from home options, and if you can work from home, you can work from a van and travel while working. And so I think another reason that a lot of people are going to continue finding themselves living in a van or some other vehicle is because of the inflation rate of housing compared to a wage. I did a little bit of math here, and I Googled in Charlotte for perspective. The average rent price is between $1,000 and $1,500. And so I did the math on, I think Dave Ramsey or some kind of financial somebody once said that 25% of your income should be on housing, and you shouldn't kind of go over that number roughly. And so assuming that math, if your rent is $1,000 a month and you want that to be 25% of your income, you would need to make about $4,000 a month or $25 an hour in order to live. If you are more on the top end of that, $1,500 rent, let's say you're trying to get like a 2 or 3 bedroom because you have a family, and that was 25% of your income, you would need to make $6,000 a month or almost $38 an hour. And most places are not paying that kind of rate. You see all the time people are asking for $15 an hour, and clearly it still wouldn't support them living in these kind of apartments. And I know various places across the country cost more or less than that $1,000 to $1,500 range, but just to give you some perspective on what it looks like. So I think this is something serious. I think this is something that more and more people are going to find themselves having to deal with. So I think this is something that's really serious, and I think it's something that's going to continue to increase. I'm not trying to be too political with it. I'm just trying to help highlight the fact that not everybody is living in a van because they want to. Some people are doing it because they have to. Sometimes it may be a short time, a few months. For some people, it might be a few years for them to get on their feet. So I just want to kind of highlight that not everybody is hunky-dory about living in a van. For us personally, it's kind of half and half. Half of it is because we want the adventure, we want to be able to travel, and half of it's because we just can't afford to live in a traditional housing setting with income that we've been provided from various companies that we've worked for over the past few years. So I don't think there's a wrong or a right way to live in a van, or a wrong and a right reason for doing it. So, if you're choosing to live in a van, awesome. If you're not choosing to, if you're not choosing this lifestyle, I understand. I see you. I want you to know you're not alone. I'm here for you. And yeah, I know it's not the greatest topic to talk about homelessness and, income and things like that, but it's just really been on my mind lately. And, something that I just wanted to kind of highlight is happening, around the world, and specifically in America. As the holidays continue to approach, just something to keep in mind. I don't know if there's a way for anyone to specifically help these people. Maybe you know somebody individually that you can help, or I don't know if there's an organization, but just something I want to kind of plant in the back of people's minds, that this is going to continue to be something that we're going to have to continue talking about. Where do we park? How do we park safely? Whether you're wanting to be in a van or whether you're just temporarily finding yourself in a situation like this. Until next time I see you guys, go outside, enjoy, encourage, explore. Tell me where you've been lately. Let me know places that I need to visit when money and time allow me to get out on travel again. And I'll see you guys on the next one.